All right, we're gonna be scoring these antlers. They look a lot bigger with Keaton holding them, but stay tuned, guys. Thanks for watching. How's it going, guys? Thanks for tuning in and watching this week's video. Got Keaton over there with me. He's gonna help with today's video. But today what we're gonna do is we're gonna score these antlers. Some of you might remember them from last year. I actually was able to get them from the taxidermist. Got a lot of hate comments on them saying they're not 400. But we're gonna actually sit down and score these today and maybe put some silence to some of that. Also, just help people out if you wanna learn how to score some elk sheds that you may find. We're gonna show you how to do that here today. So stay tuned and thanks for watching, guys. All right, guys, gonna do a little breakdown. Got another official score sheet here. If you guys just get on Google, you can print these off. They'll tell you how to score, but I'm just gonna go ahead and show you how to score an elk without having to make you read that. So on every tine, you get a measurement. This tine, basically every tine you're trying to cut off the main beam as it don't exist. So you measure from where you would cut it off from there all the way to the tip on the outsides of everything. That way you get all the roll. So I'd cut this off, I'd measure from there all the way to there. Same with the third. Cut the third off, flush with the beam, start my measurement from there to there. Same with the sword. I'm going to cut the sword off right about there to where it don't exist. Measure from there to there. Same with the fifth. There, I'm going to measure there to there. And then you get your main beam measurement, which is from the burr all the way up, straight line on the outside of the antler. You get all the curl, all the everything. Kind of got a little seventh point there, but we're not going to measure those today. I don't even think that would really count as a point. The other one's a little more prominent on the other shed, but you measure the whole length of the beam down the center. And then you get 4 mass measurements. On the 4 mass measurements at the smallest circumference. So he'd probably get one there, there, there. Probably right there is the smallest. All right, let's go ahead and score this bull. I'm gonna start with the G1. Just like you're gonna cut it off. And you measure from that line. And you measure from the bottom of the tine all the way up to the curl. Well, using the centimeter side of the tape, he'd be a lot bigger if we used the centimeter side of the tape. So cut off line. (17 2/8). Where this bull is pretty deceiving, he's got a lot of mass. You'll see here in a second. But overall, his tine length is above average for a lot of bulls. 19 right on the nose. Cut that one off there, measure from there. 16 on the nose. So this is his G4. (20 6/8). And G5. (16 7/8). And we're going to measure the main beam right down the center. The best way to measure these is lay them on a table, tines down. You go right down the center of the beam all the way to the back. 54 and 4/8 on the main beam. Now we're going to start the mass measurements, which is H1, H2, H3, H4. You only get 4 mass measurements, no matter if it's a 7 point, 8 point, 10 point, whatever. 4 mass measurements. A lot of people don't understand that. I've seen people score them to where they get an extra mass measurement. You only get 4, according to Boone and Crockett or Pope and Young. There are only 4 mass measurements. So this is, first mass measurement is 10, right on the nose. Smallest circumference, probably gonna be right there after the G2. And that is 8 7/8. Smallest circumference, probably right there after the G3. That's another thing I think is funny too, is a lot of people want to talk about mass and they always put their hand by the sword, which is always probably the biggest mass on a bull. But this one is 7 6/8. And the last one, tape around, we don't want to use centimeters again. 6 4/8. And we'll add them all up here at the end, but regardless, that's a big antler. You know, I'm not your typical Westie. I'm a bigger guy. I'm 6'1", 220 pounds. So, you know, a lot of guys like Eric Chesser, when they hold a bull, yeah, they look big. But we'll go ahead and jump on to the next one. All right. So G1. $18 2/8. G2. $19 7/8. G3. $16 4/8. G4. $21 1/8. G5. $16. And the main beam from the back of the burr all the way down the center. That fell off the table. $53 1/8. What was his left antler? 54. So he's an inch shorter on this side, huh? All right, then the mass measurements. This one's a little more massive. 10 4/8. smaller there. 8 3/8. This one is 7 5/8. 6 3/8. All right, we'll add these up. I'll show you guys us adding them up. All right, we're just gonna plug these in. Here's all the measurements. This is just gonna be a gross score. All right, we're gonna go ahead and measure. Keaton's got his fraction calculator out, which makes this a lot easier instead of doing math. So we're gonna start with the main beam, which was 53 1/8 on the right antler. Then we're gonna go to the G1, which is 18 2/8. Then the G3 is 19 7/8. Or no, 10. Is that a 10?
It's 19.
19, okay. On the G2,
8
7/8. And then the G3 is 16 4/8. Then 21 1/8 on the G4. And then the length of fifth point is 16 on the nose. Okay, and then we'll jump into the mass measurements. H1 was 10 4/8. H2 is 8 3/8. H3 was 7 5/8. And H4 was 6 3/8. So total score on that. So that one antler was 177 3/4. So that's 6/8. So 177 and what? 6/8?
Yeah, 6/8.
Okay, and then we'll go ahead and add up the second antler. So clear that one out. So main beam 54 4/8. G1 17 2/8. G2 19. Then G3 16. G4 20 6/8. And then G5 16 7/8. And then mass measurements, H1 was 10. Then H2 was 8 7/8. Then H3 7 6/8. And then 6 4/8 for the H4. And equals 177 1/2. 4/8. Okay. Now the way we do this is we'll add the two antlers together. So 177 6/8 and 177 4/8 equals 355 2/8. So that's not even with an inside spread credit, which this bull probably had a 40-inch inside spread credit, so add 40. 195 1/8. All right, now go 2/8. So his total score would be 395 2/8. And that's what he'd score. He probably sat wider. And if you want, we can go ahead and set him up and see what he would have actually went just sitting natural. And widest inside of main beam. So there. 45. So if he was a little, if that's how he sat, there you go, he's 400. If he's not, 5 inches shorter on just a 40-inch inside spread credit.